The B-2 Spirit, also known as the stealth bomber, that is considered one of the most expensive aircraft ever. According to the Pentagon, it costs over $2 billion per unit. It is distinguished by its stealth technology, which enables it to fly stealthily and silently to penetrate defense systems. It has a long operational range, allowing it to strike targets thousands of miles away without the need for refueling, or even forward bases designed to carry conventional or nuclear weapons, and can carry bombs with a destructive power of more than 80 meters in strong mountain fortifications, and using vacuum bombs that can kill people in fortifications by drawing oxygen into mountain caves. As the conflict between Israel and Iran continues, people are once again focusing on U.S. military power, which could play a key role in this fight. Israeli officials have said they urgently need U.S. military support to strike the heavily protected Fordow nuclear facility. Israel is relying heavily on U.S. help in its war against Iran because it cannot hit the Fordow facility on its own. This nuclear site, located south of Tehran, is very well protected. Destroying it would require special strategic bombers and powerful bunker-busting bombs that only the United States currently has. Bombers are a type of aircraft made for attacking land or sea targets by dropping bombs or firing missiles. They are mostly used in strategic bombing missions which aim to damage infrastructure, factories, supply lines, or other important assets to weaken the enemy's strength. The B-2 in particular can carry very large weapons like the GBU-57 bunker-busting bomb and even nuclear weapons. This makes it a key part of strategic deterrence. Missions that involve flying long distances from their home bases and staying hidden from enemy radar. To do this job, the bombers must be able to fly very long distances without being detected, no matter the conditions. Even though another strategic bomber, the B-52, can carry large bombs like these, but it's not suitable for these kinds of missions. It cannot avoid radar or dominate the skies by itself, so it needs support from other aircraft for protection. During the Cold War, bombers like the B-52 were a main part of nuclear deterrent strategies. But the US later needed a bomber that could sneak through Soviet air defenses without being seen, because radar technology had improved a lot, making traditional bombers easier to detect and shoot down. By the mid-1970s, military aircraft designers came up with a new way to avoid enemy missiles. This method is now known as stealth. In 1974, the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency asked American aircraft companies to come up with the smallest radar cross-section possible. Basically, how to design a plane that radar couldn't see. Then, in 1979, the U.S. Air Force launched a program to build a new bomber focused on stealth. In 1981, the companies Northrop and Boeing won the contract under Project Senior CJ to build what would become the B-2 stealth bomber. It was officially revealed to the public in 1988. At first, the U.S. planned to build 132 B-2 bombers, but because the cost was so high, they reduced the number to just 21. Each plane cost around $2.1 billion, including maintenance and upgrades, making it one of the most expensive military aircraft ever built. On July 17, 1989, the B-2 Spirit made its first flight from Air Force Plant 42 in California. Since then, the B-2 has been seen as the most advanced strategic bomber in the world, mainly because of its stealth ability. This stealth power comes from its special wing design that helps it escape radar. It's also covered in material that absorbs radar waves. It gives off little heat and has systems that jam enemy radar and communication. According to the U.S. Air Force, there are currently 19 B-2 bombers in active service. They fly below the speed of sound but can refuel in the air, which means they can travel very long distances. During the Kosovo War in the late 1990s, B-2s flew from their base in Missouri to hit targets and flew back. In 2017, two B-2s flew 34 hours straight to reach Libya. The B-2 was also used in wars in Iraq, 2003, Afghanistan, 2001 to 2021, Syria, 2017, and most recently in U.S. missions in Yemen. Now, attention is turning back to the B-2, especially after recent comments suggesting that the only way to strike Iran's heavily protected nuclear sites is with American weapons. especially the B-2 bomber, targeting Iran's Fordow nuclear facility, one of the most heavily protected sites in the world. It seems clear that only the B-2 bomber could be used if Israel, with U.S. backing, decides to move forward with a plan to destroy Iran's nuclear infrastructure. The Fordow facility was specially built to withstand airstrikes and even some small nuclear attacks, known as tactical nuclear weapons, which have limited power. Fordow is located about 95 kilometers southwest of Tehran. It was built inside a tunnel complex under a mountain, roughly 32 kilometers northeast of the city of Qom. The site is estimated to be buried 80 to 90 meters underground, specifically to protect it from bunker-busting bombs. This image, published by Maxar Technologies and taken on December 11, 2020, shows a glimpse of Iran's Fordow nuclear fuel enrichment site. The facility is surrounded by layers of natural mountain rock and thick reinforced concrete. Inside, it has steel walls or metal shields, and a maze-like layout to make it harder to penetrate and to reduce the effects of explosions. It's also protected by multiple layers of air defenses, including short and medium-range missile systems, electronic jamming devices to block precision strikes, thermal cameras, sensors, and around-the-clock security guards. According to the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, Fordow includes two main halls for uranium enrichment. It was built to hold 16 cascades of IR-1 gas centrifuges, split equally between two sections, with a total of about 3,000 centrifuges. Only one bomb can do the job. Based on available information, there's only one bomb that could reach that kind of depth, and might be used by Israel to hit sites like Fordow or Natanz. The American GBU-57 This bomb, also known as the Massive Ordnance Penetrator, MOP, is a precision-guided conventional bomb designed to destroy deeply buried and reinforced targets like underground bunkers. It weighs around 13 to 14 tons and is 6 meters long. Military estimates say this bomb can break through up to 61 meters of reinforced concrete or about 12 meters of solid rock. Regular U.S. fighter jets can't carry it. Only the U.S. Air Force's B-2 Spirit stealth bomber can. To carry out such a mission, multiple B-2 bombers would be needed. The operation would likely start with electronic warfare to jam Iran's air defense systems and cut off communications from the targeted area, striking Fordow more than just one bomb. When the B-2 bombers reach the target area above the Fordow mountain, their high-precision targeting systems identify the exact underground location of the facility. Then they drop the bombs. But it's not as simple as using just one bomb. The attack may require several strikes on the same spot. It could start with other bombs, not the GBU-57A/B, to create an initial shock, remove surface rock layers, or test how the remaining defenses respond. Then the main bombs are dropped afterward. When the bomb hits, it breaks through layers of rock and reinforced concrete using its massive kinetic energy. More bombs may be dropped on the same point to go deeper, or on nearby points to widen the destruction. After reaching tens of meters underground, the bomb explodes, sending out a powerful shockwave to destroy the inner structure of the facility. The goal is not only to destroy the reactor, but also to disable vital support systems around it, like control rooms, cooling systems, and fuel storage. This explains why Israel strongly needs the American bomber and its massive bomb. Iran's nuclear facilities were not seriously damaged in the first two waves of Israeli strikes. This conclusion is based on official statements, photos, and videos from both countries. The newspaper said Israel likely attacked near Fordow, but not the underground facility itself. The IAEA and nuclear experts said the strikes on Natanz, Iran's main enrichment site, destroyed some buildings and damaged the power system. Satellite images reviewed by analysts showed that underground enrichment equipment at Natanz was not damaged. even though there was direct impact near the underground halls. Even if Israel gets U.S. support and carries out such airstrikes, the mission is still more complex than it seems. In the past, Israel followed what's called the Begin Doctrine, striking early to stop its enemies from gaining nuclear capabilities. This worked in Iraq in 1981, Osirak reactor, and Syria in 2007, Al-Kabair facility. But Iran is a completely different case. The earlier targets were isolated, visible, and still being built, making them easier to hit effectively. Fordow is different. Iran's nuclear program is spread across multiple sites, built deep underground, and supported by strong technical and scientific knowledge. This makes it very hard to eliminate with airstrikes alone. Even if the strikes succeed, Iran still has the scientific ability to rebuild its facilities. That's why Israel has also targeted Iranian scientists, to try to slow down the program. But this approach has limited impact, since the program is not built around just a few individuals, but on a strong institutional and scientific foundation. In the end, Iran's nuclear issue is much more than just hitting physical buildings. It's about stopping a country that has the scientific knowledge and political will to continue.